Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with my very first For the Love of Homemade Kits layout for the month of November. Now this layout is, I start out with this gray paper and I have these cute photos of my son Jonas when he was about 4 or 5, and we took a trip with our church playgroup to the local fire station, and the fireman that was giving us the tour let each one of the kids spray the hose. And so these are just pictures of Jonas spraying the hose, and I just thought they were so adorable. So I have these 3 photos and I'm going to put them in order. So that first one is him trying to turn it on, and then the second and third one are him actually turning it on. So my first idea was to use this stencil and to use my Vibes in, I think it's Snowstorm is what it's called, and to spray it on the layout, but it's not going to turn out that great. You can't really tell that they are, that they're the shape of a, cloud. So then I'm like, well, what if I do the outside so that the inside is the gray color? And that, I didn't really like how that worked either. So then what I'm going to do, from my stash, I decided to pull out this Nouveau cream. Excuse me. And I think it's just called Nouveau Embellishment Mousse, I think. And this is the first time I've ever used this. It's kind of like texture paste, and it's just not as forgiving as texture paste. As you can see there, I kind of get a little bit messy, and even if you wipe it off with a baby wipe, it doesn't come off. Like, if you make a mess, you make a mess and it stays there. So it's not as unforgiving as, you know, texture paste or modeling paste or anything like that. So I was kind of frustrated with that, but I really do like how it turns out after it dries. And it doesn't really bother me that it did get kind of a little bit messy. So here I'm just going to do 2 layers of those. And here you can see I'm trying to kind of clean up the messiness underneath some of the clouds. And that works a little bit, but not extremely great. So here I'm trying to decide which one of these clouds I want to do for this next layer. And it's kind of hard to spread on as well. I don't know if it was the little tool I was using or if it was just the texture of the mousse, but it just wasn't very easy to spread. I still like it though. I'm glad I got it. Now here I just ran off to the bathroom, which is right next to my room, which is nice to have a bathroom right there. Okay, so now I'm done with that. I'm going to start making the rest of the layout. You can see here I'm kind of cleaning up the mess that I made. And then I'm going to, you can see the little containers that I put my embellishments in. And those containers, I think I just got those from the dollar store a while ago. I got them to use as like fridge divider container things, but I never used them. So I had them in my craft room and I was like, hey, I could totally use this for my kit. So here I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. I did pull out that triangle paper from my mind's eye, thinking maybe I could use that as a layer. And then I had this Maggie Holmes chevron. I don't remember what collection that's from. Is it Open Book? It might be Open Book. And then I'm going to cut that vellum into kind of a big strip. And I'm going to glue that to the background. And then I'm going to cut this Maggie Holmes chevron paper into 2 pieces because I really like this paper, so I didn't want to use all of it. And since I had 3 photos and I knew that they were going to kind of overhang off of the edges of that paper, I knew that I could cut out the middle and still be able to use it on another layout without it showing that there's no middle there. So it still looks like there's a whole piece of pattern paper there. So now here I'm just going to glue down these two border pieces. And my dog is chewing on his rope right below me, so I apologize if you can hear that. He's the kind of dog that does not like to leave my side, so if I lock him out of my room, he is going to just whine the whole time, so I figured this was better. Okay, so I glued down the photos in the order I wanted them, and now let's see, I'm just pulling out some embellishments. So there is that pre-made embellishment that I made with the, I think that was the, was it crepe paper? I don't remember who that collection was. And then I'm pulling out some more tags and pieces. I also pulled out that stamp set that says Be Happy on it. And here's some frames. Then I'm going to pull out some buttons and flare badges and things. And my idea for this stamp was to do it right next to this little embellishment there. So I pull up my stamp pad and then I'm like, okay, what color would look best? Pulling out a bunch of different stamp pads, and then I decide to do black. But then I decided, no, I don't want to do black. So I pulled out my Heidi Swap gray color shine. It's called Tinsel, and I am going to spritz the stamp with the spray, the mist. And then I got it all over my hands. So I was showing you how I got it all over my hands because for some reason my cap gets stuck on this one. So here I do a couple test stamps, and I like the way that looks. So I am going to end up using it. It doesn't turn out as great on the layout as it does right there for the tests, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me. I still like the way it looks. And then I still had some ink left over, so I stamped it down there in the right hand corner. You can't really even tell what it says, but that's okay. So now I think I'm going to clean up my stamp, and then I think I'm going to mess around with the embellishments some more. Oh, I'm going to do the date, I guess. So I pulled out, I think this is Studio Calico, and it's just a roller date stamp, and I put the date July 15th, 2009 on it. I stamp it with my Stays On ink, and then I'm going to put it on that tag that's right next to that heart on that embellishment, and then glue that down. Now I'm going to clean off the stamp, and then I'm going to get back to work. Make sure that you run on over to the other ladies' videos today. I'm sorry, mine is going up a little bit late. I got my layout done early, but then I didn't have time to do the voiceover. So yeah, I apologize. Mine is a little bit later today on Tuesday, but next week I hope that it will be on time. So here you can see I am pulling off the pin, the badge part on this flare badge because I don't like the, what is it? The pin that they have on the back of it. I can't think of what it's called. But it's got this pin on the back of it, and I hate it being there. So I'm going to pull it off, and then I'm going to use some Recollections 3D foam tape. And that's just the cheap tape you can get in the Michael's dollar section. And then I'm going to put that there. So I was just testing to see if the clouds were dry, and I don't think they were dry yet. Because I am going to embellish around the clouds. I just didn't want to ruin the clouds. Okay, so here I found a button from my button collection. It's actually a chipboard button. And then I also had this tag, Smiles for Days, and that is from, I can't remember what collection that is. It's the same collection that I made that little heart piece from. I also pull out my Spiegel Mom Scraps gold confetti sequins, and I sprinkle those around the layout, and I'm going to glue those down with my mini Zots. Those are my favorite thing in the world. I love using those to glue down my sequins. They're so much easier than liquid glue because I don't have to like sit and wait for it to dry. I can just glue it down immediately. So here I'm just going to spread those around on the layout and put back the extra ones that I'm not going to end up using. So this week we have, let's see, Hannah Lemieux, Felicia Young, Christina Sorge, and Sarah Scraps, I think, is everybody that is participating this month. I hope I'm not forgetting somebody. I don't think I am. Okay, so now here you can see I'm just gluing down those sequins. And I think this layout is pretty much almost done. I am going to add another tag to the left side of the layout and another button and some washi tape, but that's pretty much it. So here I'm just kind of cleaning up the excess. I'm going to cut off that tag. Oh, here I guess I am going to add some washi tape. I kind of wish I had picked a silver washi tape because that might have gone better with this layout, but I decided to keep it there anyway, to keep it on the layout. So I'm going to put a piece down there on the bottom, and it takes a little bit of fiddling because I had already glued everything down. And then I'm also going to put another piece of tape up there at that top cluster. Okay, so I am going to grab, let's see what I grab next. Oh, I'm going to cut off that tag. And then I think I'm going to grab out some embellishment pieces and just kind of fiddle around because I feel like it's not done. But I don't really like any of these pieces that I pull out. Eventually, I'm going to grab one of the Fancy Pants tags. There you go. And I'm going to put this gray polka dot one on there. And I like how that looks. And I was thinking maybe I could do my journaling on there. I'm not going to actually do the journaling on the video. I'm going to add this red button, and that is the end of my layout. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you go and visit the other ladies today. Have a great week. Bye.